I had an idea, which I think is a little bit unusual, but could be fun. Honestly, I don't know. The idea is this. I'm going to make and release the source code for some small Game Jam sized games, but I'm not going to do tutorials on how to make these games. Instead, the source code for each game is going to be released with a single companion video that does a couple of things. First, it will show a time lapse of the game being created. Second, it will briefly review a list of the concepts that are included in the game's code and that you'll need to be familiar with to get the most out of the game's code, along with some suggestions for things you could look into further, and a list of suggestions for ways you could modify the project. Third, it will provide a brief overview of some, but only some, of the game's structure and code in order to provide a framework for exploring the project. At least that's what the first one will be. I might change up the format as I go. I wanted to do this because when I first started learning to code in GameMaker Studio, I got the source code for several GameMaker games in a humble bundle. And these were really cool, and I definitely learned a little bit as I explored them, but they were honestly just much too complicated for me at that time. I was overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that goes into a full game, and I didn't know what to focus on to get the most out of it. So I wanted to make some games that are complete games that'll have sound, art, music, a full game loop, and so on, but that are tiny enough that looking through their source code and understanding how they're put together is actually doable even if you've just started making games in GameMaker. And that's also why I wanted to include some suggestions for things to inspect and modify, so that you can have a starting point for exploration if you want it. You're also welcome, of course, to just open up the project and explore it however you want. I'll give every game a complexity rating of 1 to 5 stars, where 1 star indicates a low complexity and 5 stars indicate a high complexity. And again, I'll include a list of concepts that you'll need to have a basic understanding of in order to get the most out of that specific game's code. And I've actually already made the first game and released its video. I hope that you check it out and let me know what you think.